or even top right, but maybe top left is where it's a risk. And he had to try to follow through with it. Anyways, game number 2, Habitation Station.
That's a pretty funny map pick against PvP. I wonder if he knows a really solid way to defend the third base at the gold, or he wants to bait his opponent and take him that gold expansion. He just maybe has a really good understanding of PvP on this map. Because usually the golds don't really come into play on this map in this matchup early on because it's too close to your opponent. PvP armies are so strong, it's hard to get in there and take that base and not get punished for it. But on the other hand, if you are able to secure it, things can go pretty bad for your opponent.
We are going into game number 2 now here. Paralyzed up one game. Younghwa needs to turn this around to see who's going to move on to the winners, or move out of this group, rather, in Group D. In the upper left, in the blue, with unique handling of that cannon rush, he is
paralyzed.
One win away from his second time in Codes.
He's looking a league ahead of everybody here.
Yeah. He's up against the IM Protoss. He is
Younghwa,
someone who's orbited between round of 32 and the last rounds of Code.
Yeah, eager to prove himself as a champion. He's a very good player. Sadly, over 3 years of StarCraft 2, he's never gotten to the finals of GSL Codes. He's never made a huge splash. He's always looked good.
I think he's never made it past round of 8 actually.
I think you're right. I almost said round of 4, and then I hesitated because we've had so many seasons now.
Yeah.
What are we at now? 13 seasons?
No, way more than that. I think it's actually 20 now. I think this is the no, I actually think this is the 19th season.
Is this the 19th? Have we been doing this for this long?
Yeah, there was when I was doing YouBet, there was a graphic that I had that I was working with that's
damn, we're at 19 now?
I think this is the 19th season, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn, I guess that would make sense. It has been a long time. For me, probably the same for you, it feels like a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's if you think about 18 champions, that's a lot.
That's a lot of champions.
I actually wish the GSL.
Maybe I got that number. Maybe there's only been 13 champions then. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Because we've had
there's a lot of repeats. Yeah.
Maybe that's where I'm getting that number from.
I actually wish that the GSL naming was not based on year and season, but actually was just like the Super Bowl. Every GSL was one number higher. This is the GSL 19.
Yeah.
Next season it's GSL 20. You can remember back at GSL 17 when this happened. I feel like the naming system there. I like that. I'm gonna just start using it.
We should do that.
Doesn't have to have Roman numerals, just a number.
Better than we alphabetize it.
Yeah.
We go all the way through the alphabet and have to go back to AB. So, very normal openings here. They're both going for the cybernetics core. And from there, that's where we get to see the branching out.
Yeah. Pylon at the top left of the base of Younghwa is going to spot any oracles that come in really fast, or even a mothership core that might come in to scout, so I really like that pylon placement. Should he choose to hide tech over there too, it's a little bit harder to scout, and the same reason why you can spot an oracle quickly. If he wants to make a Stargate there, his oracle is going to be that much faster. And as you can see, it's a pretty good idea as Paralyzed does the same thing with his pylon on the right side of his main base. And double gate here for Paralyzed, so he's definitely putting a little bit more ground pressure to aggressively find out what's going on.
So, for the time being, it doesn't look like we're going to have any heavy engagements. We do have that one probe all the way down there in the bottom left. It does look like Paralyze is prepared to check for this. He's sending the Stalker down now.
Yeah, I think he's going to see it. He does, in fact, see it. He's going to kill it, too.
Yep, we didn't get a shot of that, but yeah, the probe down there has been eliminated.
2 motherships passing in the night over here in the north.
And in fact, Younghwa goes ahead and makes a Nexus. Now, there's a high chance he might have wanted to go DTs.
Yeah.
Up from there, judging from the way this game has been going so far. And he is going to get a Dark Shrine. It looks like that's going to be in his base.
Yeah.
While he is expanding.
And he saw the mothership core turn down to the south, so it's not coming into his base to scout this. Paralyzed is he's just poking here. He has a robotics going up at home, and I really like his position here. I think he's going to get a forced cancel on this Nexus, and then he's going to have what he needs at home to defend DTs, and then also we'll have Immortals out. Nice force.
Nice. That was last second, wasn't it?
Doesn't help him save his Nexus, though.
No, the Nexus is still under fire. The Dark Shrine is halfway done. No proxied pylon out on the map, and this is a quick follow-up with Blink. He may only get one DT here just to see if he can get lucky.
This is just... If he sees it, like if he happens to, he can actually like force him to DT into the main base with that force field. Anything else can be trapped in the main without Blink being done. And even if he does have Blink done, the way this map works, it's hard for him to Blink out properly without getting caught. You know, that's the only place he can Blink down. He can't like Blink down to the left side. There's not enough space there. This is really awkward for Younghwa now. And that Blink timing is not really even like a timing.
Going for this sentry here. Probably the best move he can do. Much smarter to go for that sentry than to go all the way across the map. I mean, there's no way he's going to damage Paralyze with that. Nice blocking, by the way, with the Stalkers.
Yeah.
Now, the problem for Younghwa is that observers are coming.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at this.
I think
what?
I think he could have gotten that
Harlem
with better,
Globetrotter Stalkers.
Theme's playing in my head now.
And now he's going to come back. What?
Blink is not going to be. It's not going to be helpful.
I don't think it's going to be consequential in this case.
Yeah.
Oh man, Younghwa is in trouble. Now the first observer got over there.
Second one's out already too.
Okay.
That means there's no overcharge, by the way, with that time warp being used. It could just overcharge this.
Where's that? Okay, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so this CT will be taken out after doing
2 kills, I think.
Yeah, I mean just not enough damage. That's for sure.
That's your whole tech. Needs a Blink up.
God, that was last second.
Certainly was, man. Just like that force that happened earlier.
Well, I mean, Paralyze. This should be a open closed book game right now.
That's how it looks right now.
Because this is very straightforward. I mean, Younghwa's tech has left no areas of opportunity. Paralyze is ahead in an expansion. His probes are just now beginning to mine from it, whereas Younghwa has just started his expansion.
He's so far ahead, Tasteless, I would expect him to make a Stargate and make an Oracle right now.
We have Immortals coming out here. Another lead there for Paralyze, whereas Younghwa is still trying to finish his robotics facility. In fact, he just finished it. I believe he's making an observer now?
Yeah.
Okay, that just finished then, excuse me.
He has a worker count that's only 3 behind his opponent, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't have an Nexus to mine from those with those extra probes. He's long distance mining, which is better than overstacking in his main, but still, he's about 400 minerals per minute behind. And that's StarCraft minutes, like, the minutes you're seeing next to the map name down there. It's like goes by pretty fast. He's losing like a lot of money comparatively.
Younghwa will peek out now. There is an over 10 supply lead here for Paralyze. Paralyze with a more complete, balanced, healthy army. And pretty soon Paralyze is going to finish that balance with having a Blink for his own Stalkers. We do see a rush up here from Younghwa to try to get the Colossus, but you're always at a fundamental disadvantage in PvP if you get your robotics facility out later, because you have, you're behind in either observers, Immortals, Colossi, Warp Prisms, whatever. Unless they're throwing those units away, you should be in good shape.
And if you're like rushing out the bay first before your opponent, then that means that you're probably going to have less gateway units, so you're losing something still. That was cool. That was one Stalker. He lost a Stalker earlier, but like picking off a unit here or there.
Well, he's got to do something.
Yeah.
And here is the Colossus tech.
First Immortal's out, and it's time for that Oracle Tasis. Probably not, actually. Probably for Tempests. He could actually go Void Rays, I suppose.
Well, he could do a lot of different things from here. I mean, he's got a great lead. Younghwa's trying to play catch-up. We already saw basically what happened with these two guys before when one guy gets a lead, although that was a very different circumstance.
Yeah. I'm really curious about this because he's so far ahead, I guess he could take the gold base, poke with Tempest, and just ignore the Colossi, or part of his composition. He can just cut that out for now. He has so much gas, I think he could just add the Fleet Peak in. Yeah, there it is. It's just a lot on this map. Usually in other matchups, but like the PVZ matchup and PVT in some weird stats cases where stats like thinks Tempest are really good in that matchup with carriers, but it doesn't happen. It's happened a few times in Pro League where everyone's just like, what?
Okay, War Prism, when that comes out, that's going to give a lot of opportunities here to make sure that Younghwa can't get a third base. He can really control the map pretty easily from that.
Yeah. And the Warp Prism also keeps Younghwa off his case while he's trying to get the Tempest count up. He's going to constantly check the the Thermal Lance, also checking how many Colossi are out. He wants to know the answers to these questions. First Tempest on the way, and he's also continuing his +2, getting his Forge upgrades further ahead. Got a better bank. Everything is better for Paralyze here, except supply, because he spent a lot of gas on getting these Tempests out, which don't give you a lot of supply until they're quite ready.
Tempests are uniquely good on this map, too, because it makes it so that your opponent can't get the gold base. So I could see the reasoning why he's doing that.
Did he just lose the Mothership Core? Or am I colorblind again? I think he actually just lost that. I think he just like flew it over.
Well, we'll have the unit counting station up, and then maybe we'll know.
Okay, no, I'm wrong.
All right, there it is. So we have more gates coming down here. And this is a smart move here from Paralyze to expand to the bottom left, because who knows, Younghwa could be doing the same thing.
It could be. And the gold bases is one thing to consider with the Tempest. He just has a lot of dead space he can flow on to even like harass the main base if he wanted to. I mean, that puts his Tempest in a weird spot where not participating in fights, but... What?
Oh my God, that happened. That was terrible.
That was actually
Don't
real.
try this at home, kids. Wow.
Don't try it at your friend's house either.
Drunk drove a Colossus into his opponent's army. I mean, how does that even happen? This is like this is an FML moment here.
Young was like, well, man, you were really nice to me last game. Let me pay you back. I could buy you dinner, but instead, what is he? Well, this is
bad. This is bad.
This is bad. Tasteless. Now he's just gonna siege up with the Tempest. He has a third base, so he doesn't have to commit here.
Well, Paralyzed showing he doesn't belong to be in this group for much longer.
No, he does not.
He needs to go to bigger and better places. Actually, man, this attack might just
He's cornered here. He's got nowhere to run.
I don't even know why he's over here. Well, I guess he wants to, no matter what, win the engagement instead of getting contained. But with the Tempest out and the low number of Stalkers, I mean, the Tempest can just come out here and poke.
That Mothership Core is not long for this role with the Phoenix Spotter. Nice snipe. There's a High Templar to try to feedback this one. I think he's going to get it. He needs to drop Time Wars before it happens. Nope, too late. But anyways, he's still like just doing so much damage. That Colossus is sniped.
Okay, I think he's just going to lose this army here.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way for him to get out of this. The Zealots coming in like the chucked baseballs, batting into these armies. Wow, but you know what? He has to regroup right now. He killed up all the Colossi. He just has to use his Archons, his Immortals and Stalkers. He's dealt the damage first to those Zealots. That will give Paralyze a lead here and allow him to push through, as well as the fact that he has a proxy pylon where he can warp in more units.
GG.
And that's it, GG. A weird game.
A weird series, actually.
Kind of a clunky, bumpy ending that can't really, I guess you could learn some from that. I mean, you know, positioning is key.
Yeah,
Tempest really in a standoff like that can force an initiation. Now, Younghwa's not out of the tournament yet. He's going to go on to our final match here, our 5th best of 3.
Yeah, that was a series that definitely, I think, also actually highlights like some of the nerve issues that you might have playing a high-stakes match like this.
Well, I mean, that series was a wreck, man, considering...
It really was.
Look, back and forth, you know, in Younghwa's initial PvP set, okay, that's fine, but that game 1 in that best of 3 failed Cannon Rush. Game 2, I mean, what can we even say other than, you know, a very disappointing ending.
It was a bit sloppy out of Younghwa. The Cannon Rush idea, I feel, was pretty good, but yeah, it was a weird series. But congratulations to Paralyze. Is now in his second back-to-back Kodas season.
If you're rooting for Younghwa, he's not out of this yet. But before we go to that match, we're going to go to the losers match and see who's going to be the first to get knocked out of Group D here today.